Ladies and gentlemen, this is a beautiful day right here in the wilderness. Snow, nature, life is great. And I've had a lot of my fans writing me, emailing me to ask me, how do you deal with negative people? How do you deal with people that are negative? And it's not easy. You have to have a thick skin. So I've had one of my fans to call in on my radio talk show to pretty much ask me those questions. And I can only go by also my experience and also my observations in life. That's the only way I could teach. And sometimes I'm only human. Most of the time I'm human, all the time actually. But I can only go by what I've learned in life because I'm always a student, So
right.
Go ahead and ask question, all right?
Sure. So yeah, like you said, experience is a key word. And unfortunately right now in this era, we're being bombarded with negative people. So we're kind of in the belly of the beast. So
Exactly.
So experience is great to have mentors to look up to and someone that can guide you through this.
Yeah, speak up a little louder,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, am I louder now?
Yeah, you're loud enough. Okay, good.
Okay, yeah. So it's good to have a mentor to guide you through this negative pit or ocean that we're swimming into right now.
Okay.
So it's great to have an open dialectic about negative and positive people instead of having a debate. A lot of people get those confused, so it's great to actually ask you some questions about that.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk to you about that.
Good. You're very welcome. Well, when it comes to, your question is, how do you deal with negative people? Well, it takes spirituality. You have to grow a thick skin. You have to, and when you understand the whole concept, you'll be at peace and you actually can sit back. First of all, let's start at first and say ignorance is not a sin.
Right.
It's lack of knowledge and information.
Yeah.
And we're all human beings. I don't care if you are the greatest teacher, spiritual leader, we're all ignorant in one point or another of certain things. It's when we refuse to be set on our way, in our ways, and not to learn, that's the act of foolishness. So ignorance is not a sin because with knowledge, there's hope. But
right.
Foolish people, you could still give them information and knowledge, and they will kind of like discern it, like they'll walk away from it,
Right.
And those are the whole...
So
Go ahead.
So there's a big difference between
ignorance and foolishness. Exactly.
Ignorance. Yeah.
Foolish people are hopeless. They are the lowest denominators of the universe. They operate on the lowest frequency. And let me break it down. Foolish people are the kind of people you see on the forum, typing away, talking bad about people they don't know, talking about things they don't know, hating people that they don't know, or loving people they don't know, taking information that have been regurgitated by them from somebody else and spinning it. And so they listen to the counsels of fools. And you don't waste your time with those kind of people, because how can you defeat 6 billion sperms to fertilize your mother's egg, to come to the universe, and then squander the whole thing, running around, not doing nothing? It's like spinning around in a cage like a hamster in a pet store.
Right, being a spectator.
They're not even a spectator. What's the spectator? Okay?
Yeah, worse.
Yeah, they're worse than spectators because they carry rumors, they talk about things that don't. Their aim is to disrupt, confuse.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying? And when you look at that concept, and you look at these people, and you have to say, you know what? There has to be a balance in the universe. Okay? You cannot go ahead and put something in a circuit and get some electric charge with positive charge that's negative charge in order to get energy.
Exactly. So it's almost like I would have to say it's almost like a natural cycle to have this negativity in order to boost the positivity. So it's like negativity is almost like the antagonist to creativity. So it's like almost if you see someone that's successful, you always have like massive people who are going to be against you.
Oh,
so it's
exactly. Okay, exactly. And those are the bottom feeders of the universe, because instead of them using the energy and looking at that person as inspiration, it's easier for them to try to drag them down. Just like the same concept we talked about. If you look at a beautiful aquarium and you see this beautiful, colorful fish on top, and they're, and this beautiful fish are glowing and prospering and happy and swimming, and then you see this ugly fish at the bottom. They're there for a reason, to balance the ecosystem. And we know what the bottom feeders do. We know what those fish in the bottom, those black fish in the bottom of the tank, we know their job. So when you go to the forum and you see people spilling hate, anger, bad things about people, okay, you don't even have to look for them. They will raise their hand and say, here I am. Okay? They're operating on the lowest denominator of the society. They're the lowest denominator of the society. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay, let's break this down again and have some fun, okay? All right, now we have satellite radio, right? Satellite radio is not even on this earth. Satellite radio is above the earth, is in the orbit, right? Then you have FM radio, right?
Right.
Okay, then which is a clearer, right? Satellite radio is, just like out of this planet. Then you have FM frequency. Okay, then you have AM frequency. Okay, then you have what you call the ham radio or CB radio or ham radio, like, pretty much like scanner and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Then you have walkie-talkie. All right? So I don't know what else is below walkie-talkie. It's like somebody blowing like a horn, a bullhorn. Okay? These are the lowest feeders of our universe. Their aim, what they are here for, they are not of God. They are not of our creature. They are demons. They carry rumors. They try to ruin lives. They talk about stuff they don't know. That's not a spirit of God. Their job is to carry gossip. Their job is to make up things. Their job is to hate people, talk bad about people that they don't know, talk about things they don't know. And that is even beyond foolishness. You see them on all forums. You see them in forums of bodybuilding and fitness. You see them in forums of just like a beautiful orchard tree. In order to produce great fruits, you have to fertilize it with a manure.
There you go. Yeah.
It's a feces. Okay, those are the manure of the universe. So,
so they're necessary.
Oh, they're very necessary. They're very necessary.
The fools are they're pretty much an abomination. Because with knowing knowledge and actually going against it or denying it is that's just almost insanity.
Exactly.
Or like you said, another frequency, another type of human.
Exactly. What could be worse? Okay, what could be worse than environment? feces. Okay? You understand what I'm saying? And when you understand this concept, you'll never be upset at these people. That's their job. Okay?
Right.
And I want to ask you one question. Have you seen a spiritual leader or an emperor, a king, or someone that have had great accomplishment that has not had this kind of people nagging them?
Yes, they have those people nagging them, yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So again, you will see them, those people, sometimes they're in disguise, right? And that's why I really think you really have to know, because a dove is a dove, a pigeon is a pigeon, a mule is a mule, a horse is a horse, a vulture is a vulture, an eagle is an eagle. They might look the same, almost, but it takes a wise man to tell the difference.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have these people that pretty much take all their time in the universe, and what they do is to cause confusion, chaos, and you cannot pretty much, they cannot pretty much, do anything to benefit society. So you can go ahead and elaborate on a whole bunch of other things you would like to know.
Yeah, I was going to ask about some strategies on dealing with negative people, but we can use, if people actually go deeper into analogy, they can actually learn from that too. Like the analogy you use with the fish, the bottom feeders and the beautiful, exotic fish. One of their strategies, if you look, they don't even associate with the bottom feeders at all. So I think people could take that strategy as well, by just ignoring and just knowing that you have higher consciousness.
Yeah.
And that, you know what I mean? Like, just totally ignoring the bottom feeders, because if you do actually go into a aquarium, you'll see that they actually don't bother them whatsoever, but the negativity actually, brings them up higher. So, yeah, I would like to know, like, some of your strategies, actually in life, dealing with negative people, maybe like in the gym or in business or at work. What would be your top strategies?
Yeah. Another thing I want to tell you, how do you know the fools? Okay, when you see these fools, they patronize fools like them and persecute the wise men. Okay, they patronize fools and persecute leaders and wise men. Have you ever seen any invention or innovation that was pretty much that came from the masses? Yeah, it's always the one that was persecuted. Has always been the one that is what they call the black sheep, the outlaws, and all kinds of stuff.
Right.
Have you ever seen a spiritual leader? Yeah, rebels. Have you ever seen a spiritual leader that tells the truth, that came out with information? They've always have been criticized. They've always have been persecuted. Okay?
Right.
So
executed, persecuted. Socrates died. Jesus, Buddha, Gandhi.
Yeah.
The list goes on and on.
So when you look at the masses, and you even look at Facebook, and you look at all the likes, okay? So don't have this concept that majority is always right. Majority has not always been right. People have been bred to be a follower, because you cannot have more chiefs than an Indian. When you understand this concept of humanity, okay, then you understand also what makes the universe go around. Okay, and then what I'm saying is use that as energy. Out of coal comes positive energy. Okay, out of the rubble and garbage and manure and all those things. Okay, what happens if you light a cigarette lighter? Okay, if you light a cigarette lighter on the bottom of a cow, and okay, what do you get? Light.
Yeah.
Okay, so go to all those forums, bodybuilding forums. You look at what they're saying. By their fruits thou shalt know them.
Yes.
And when you,
by fruits.
yeah, by their fruit thou shalt know them. By the venom that comes out of their mouths. So why are you going to get upset at those kind of people? Because they are here for a reason. They are the bottom feeders of the universe. We know what the bottom feeder of the universe, we know what those black feet does under the aquarium tanks.
Right.
Okay? So whatever they are saying, do not listen to the counsels of fools. And you have to be comical about it, because you don't go ahead and have an argument or a dialogue or somebody that's mentally ill or mentally challenged.
Right.
Do you go to a mental hospital and have the psychiatrists arguing with somebody that's mentally ill? The elevator doesn't go to the top floor.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can't make fun of them. You can't, because that's not also right. You have to have some kind of sympathy. You can't have empathy, because empathy is kind of like being in somebody's shoes or being there or having done it. Okay, but in order to understand that concept and say, I might not understand why they do what they do, but to apply or imply the wisdom, you have to have some kind of compassion as a human being and feel sorry for them, because they've scooped down to the lowest, of the society, and sometimes it can be comical. Do you understand what I'm saying? They can be comical because you give them one information, the what you call they're not even, they're like, they're the messenger pigeon.
Right.
They're not a messenger dove, because messenger dove is usually used by spiritual leaders to pretty much deliver their message or messages or whatever. But when you have pigeons is dumber than doves, pigeons, So in that aspect, you use that to fuel your energy. You use it because if you waste your time listening to what you're saying, if you waste your time, it's going to really, obstacles is what you see when you take your eyes off your goals. And you have to understand that when you start focusing on more on what they're saying, you're going to become like them.
Right, yeah.
You will become...
It's a negative frequency that they're shooting out, and you can actually pick up on it, and then it can actually drag you down, or you become it too. So
exactly. The whole aim is that they can't climb up the ladder. They can't climb up the ladder. So what they do best is pulling people down and pulling off the ladder.
Yes, there you go. I was going to talk about that. Have you heard about the, prisoner complex? Like, you'll have some people in prison that won't tell their comrades or their friends or whatever, or associates, that what date they will be getting out. Because when they do end up telling them that, the other prisoner gets jealous and ends up compromising his release by having him doing something bad. So it's kind of like there's a human complex where people don't want people to be free in a weird, sick kind of way. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, I think also this has been bred in for generations and cultures.
Right.
Where, you see people, they do certain things, and where did they get those things from? Okay, would that have been their choice if they would have be independent? If they have been independently minded or whatever in a sense, no, because if people are wearing their shoes backwards, if one person comes up and said, wear your shoes backwards, or put your left shoes on the left foot, and then put your right shoe on the right foot, and if if that becomes the norm or fashion, they all will follow.
Yeah, it's weird.
And if people start saying the way to walk is walking backwards, if that's the way the rules, or somebody came out as a fashion, they will do that. Okay, and I think what you also have to understand, that's to use a better metaphor, that's what you have a slave mentality. Okay, all right. I don't know if you ever heard the concept in psychological term, what is called the Stockholm syndrome, where technically people start loving people that have enslaved them.
Yes. Massive Stockholm syndrome. Yes, like you'll bust into a cop will bust into a house that has like sex slaves, and then they'll end up like biting the cop and like
exactly.
Instead of attacking their the man that's holding them prisoner.
Exactly. Exactly. And if you understand that concept, and that's why I don't get upset, because I've came to pretty much liberate the people in the bodybuilding and fitness industry and say, you're working so hard, building your physique, but there's a guy drinking beer out there, there's a guy eating donuts out there that's walking away with all the pie. And instead of saying, Vic, you're telling the truth, they turn against me. Okay?
Yeah.
So during the time
I noticed that in some of your interviews, like
So when you
trying
also
to help out people.
Yeah. So when you look at also during the time of slavery, okay, the man was busting his testicles on the field, and then one slave will come, or somebody that wants to emancipate the slave, and they will come in to set his slave free, and these slaves will give him a beat down and say, why do you want to do that to my master? Why do you want to short my master? Okay? So even when one slave runs away or run away, the other slave will chase him down, beat him down, and bring him back to the master and show to the master, dear master, look at what we've done for you. We brought back a runaway slave to you. Okay? So, you know what I'm saying? Okay?
Yeah.
So, the greatest imprisonment is not physical bondage.
Mental.
It's the mind. And when you understand this concept, and you see these people, you can't get upset at them. You can only pity them. Because they might be walking and breathing and speaking. When a man is spiritually dead, that's the meaning of walking dead.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay.
Pretty much zombie.
Yeah, it's zombie. Okay, when everything that you do, every aspect of your life is dictated or delegated by order. Okay, and few people have learned how to control the masses. And it's like, and then another parable I like to use also is, have you ever seen, and this took time, human beings were actually smarter when they were called primitive, when they lived in little villages.
Right.
Because you have scientists, you have meteorologists, you have hunters, you have they were all around athletes and also able to invent things, otherwise they would died up. But when they started to conquer them, and they killed off all their leaders, all the smart ones.
All the leaders, all the warriors.
All the warriors, because they're not good followers. And then then you have people breeding followers. But that's one thing, that's one concept. They can't be too smart not to follow, and they cannot also be too dumb not to learn.
Wow.
Okay, that's the really DNA that you see all around now. Okay, that's the DNA that you see around. And also, too, in order to keep them in check, you teach them how to keep their children in check, their family in check. What's the first word you learn as a child?
No.
No, right?
Yep.
Is no a positive word?
Nope.
And that's a reason for no, so that you don't get in trouble with the society, community, culture, religion, all those people that have changed your mind. You see how it goes? So there's so many, due to the fact that there's so many people, and the power to be cannot keep all of them in check, they've actually been taught to keep each other in check. Okay, let me ask you one thing, to a better analogy. Have you ever seen a farmer and a sheep, like herds of sheep? What do they use the sheepdog to do?
They use them to keep
them in check, to conform them. And whatever happens when what happens when one sheep or cattle get too smart and go out of the herd?
The dog comes
and it bit him in the ankle, or bit him in the something.
Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't kill. It doesn't. Okay, because it doesn't really kill the cattle or the sheep, but a little nip, right? Because the farmer won't also like it if he's losing some herds or some livestock. So this sheepdog have been trained also to nip that, to bring him back to line. And that's why they have laws, police, cops, and all that stuff to conform, to bring you back. You know, so do you understand what I'm saying, right? So you know, to be independent minded, it's not really good when you want to make people to conform. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that's why people that are, you know, people with the highest IQ, the innovators, and the spiritual leaders, you know, they've always, and you know, the people, the power to be don't even have to bring them down. They've trained the masses to bring those people down, to challenge them, to say, what are you? Why are you trying to change things? Because it doesn't take that much energy to come out of it doesn't take energy to stay in your comfort zone. And every time you decide to get out of your comfort zone, there's going to be challenges, there's going to be criticism, there's going to be, because misery loves company.
Yep, there. So true.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you start to understand all these dynamics and the concepts, you'll start to uncold. You know.
Yeah. So I'm guessing one of the best strategies would be education, understanding that the microcosm analogies of use you can compare to macrocosm.
Yeah, exactly.
People have to kind of put the iPhones down, the internet, and start looking at day-to-day activities and kind of placing them into their reality and seeing how they would do with it, etc.
Exactly. That's exactly what we're saying, because again, that goes again to foolish and ignorant people. We have so much information today. There's no reason for people to actually be ignorant. Anything you want, you know. But also, if as much as technology has helped out the ignorant people, has also have made foolish people dumber.
Wow.
Do you understand what I'm saying? It has also have given the foolish people tools, and there's people that are capitalizing on foolish people. And that's again coming back to how we started this program. Foolish people are hopeless. You can give them all the information in the world. They're still going to be stuck in their own feces in the gutter.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay?
Yeah.
So those are not people you are trying to reach when you're educating people, when you're doing all those things. Okay? And you can, and the ignorant people will go, wow, this makes a lot of sense. I really didn't know. I never really thought about that. Thank you for giving me the information. A foolish person will attack you, persecute you.
Attack you.
Yeah.
Lie about you. Kind of reminds me of your story about the instinctive training principle. Actually, I kind of got it right away. It took me like 2 weeks to kind of understand it. But the people that you were dealing with, when you were telling them, like, for example, when they wanted to do the interview of you with Rick Wayne,
Yeah.
You were saying that he wanted to interview you, and he just kind of just like, yeah, whatever, and crumbled up his paper and left. So it's like these people, they don't want it to be easy. They don't want the answer to be easy. These fools want it to be super complex for some reason. And it reminds me of that analogy of Christ's voice coming in as a child's voice, and Satan or the deceiver being, no, who is this boy to tell me what to do?
Okay.
Or this is too easy.
Exactly.
He talks like a baby.
Yeah, but
So
let's bring that to the universe also. A con artist, a con man,
right,
cannot separate you from your wallet without chaos and confusion. Okay?
Yeah.
In order for people to sell you what you already know or what is simple, they have to make it complicated.
Right.
They have to, so then they would attack the bearer of light, the bearer of truth. Look, you don't need to be a NASA scientist to figure out how to work out.
Right.
Okay, I simplified it. People that want to separate those people from their wallets and make them dumb as dumb question, it's like pretty much like, let's say that our Savior Lord Jesus Christ comes and everybody's going to be healed. And he's going to stop all diseases. He's going to stop all the war. Do you know that's going to be people that's going to say, Lord, why do you want to do that? It's been good for business.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So
no one's buying peace.
Yeah.
No one buys peace.
Nobody buys peace. Exactly. So when you understand the concept of humanity, and this have been inbred in the masses for generations of generations and generations, So again, by wrapping this up, the way to deal with negative people is to have some kind of pity them. You can't be empathetic because you don't want to be in their shoes. You've never been in their shoes, but have sympathy because you might go to a mental institution, and that's where if you have a family member, a friend, or people at the good old days, you put them away in the nut house, and you only go to visit. And you don't really need to understand why and how, they do what they do. But
right,
you pity them, okay? And in the old days, they used to shock them out of it, and they found out that, that any remedy or whatever was hopeless, but you just feel sorry for them. And then you don't see a psychiatrist try to argue with them, have a dialogue with them, because they're hopeless, So anytime, again, like we're saying, you go, people say, Vic, look at what they're saying on the forum. These people don't know me. I never met them. Isn't it said that only a fool will talk about what he or she does not know?
Right.
Okay? Or isn't it said that only a fool will also deliver a message that he has not been given?
Yeah, true.
Okay? So, this message, even as we're talking right now, our message are not for those fools because they are set on their way and they are going to drown in their own vomit. But our message are for people actually that are ignorant, which is not really a bad thing because we're constantly learning and we're ignorant in flesh and we're constantly learning, and the ignorant person is going to look at the message that we're saying right now and say, wow, Vic, oh, wow, Mikol, I never really thought about that. That makes a lot of sense. So when you go to the forum, at a bodybuilding forum or any kind of forum, people talking about people they don't know anything about, people hating on people they don't know anything about, they are the bottom feeder of the universe. Their job is one thing. They come here to cause chaos, to disrupt. Okay? And when they are done, even their dog or their pet will not even remember who they were.
Wow.
Okay?
That is sad.
It's pitiful. It is sad. Yeah. When you see these people on the forum, when you see them on the forum, don't even bother. Just sit down and say, you know what? it's not even politically correct to laugh at people that are mentally ill. But these people are mentally ill. There are people that they're missing some chromosome that even though if you present them with facts, I say 2 plus 2 is 4, they're going to tell you, no, 2 plus 2 is 5.
Yeah.
Okay? So how do you argue or make sense with people with that kind of limitation?
Yeah, it's like arguing with the brick wall.
Exactly. Brick wall is even smarter. Okay? If brick wall could speak, brick wall would say, don't insult me like that. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so again, going back to bodybuilding forum and all this stuff, and then there's one person that's pulling the string, making money off of dumb people.
Yeah, it's like they have to read between the lines, and I know that
exactly. You know,
if you actually break down those words and kind of think what that means, to actually read between the lines, they will start to see. You know, it's right, and you know what? It's right in front of your face too. That's what makes it weird. I read this book on psychology, it's called The Revelation of the Method, and that's like some type of metaphysical agreement where they actually put what you're looking for in your face, but you don't actually see it, or what they're doing in your face. So people need to just take some time. I know we're in this fast-paced reality right now where you want instant gratification.
That's no authenticity. There's no authenticity in instant gratification. We looked at the stars and horoscopes for all our answers and stuff like that, but where are the answers are here on earth within us?
Right. You wanna what did you do, Victor? What did you do, Arnold? What did you do? I want to know what you do. That's instead of saying what should I do.
Exactly.
I came to the planet as a human. What does my soul want to do? It's like the car. It's like the car taking over. Like if you get inside of your vehicle and your car just started driving by itself, and you're inside going,
well, they're trying to do that now because they figured out how dumb they've dumbed down the society. That now they're finding that as a society a handicap. They're making an automobile right now that can drive itself. Okay.
Oh my God!
They're making automobile.
My analogy is coming true. Wow.
Exactly. All those things that you see.
Wow.
Have you ever seen the Jetsons, the cartoon, the Jetson? Everything that we just thought it was fiction is coming true right now. Okay? So they've dumbed down the society so much, they can't even do the simplest task.
Yeah.
Okay? So again, what you're asking, what did Victor do? What did Arnold do? What did that person? Instead of asking themselves, what should I do? The same thing. These are the same people that have this concept that every human being have the same DNA.
Right. It's like if you see a champion, let's just say you, for instance, or any champion, they're going to ask you, what did you do? And you're going to tell them what you did. You're not going to say, I did what Arnold did. Oh, I did what my neighbor did.
Yeah.
No, all the champions are going to say, I did what I did.
Yeah, can I tell you why, though? I'll tell you. Every time you say, I'm doing Arnold's, I'm doing this guy's routine, but this guy didn't do other people's routine in order to become unique. Okay?
Right.
So again, it's like every time that you are trying to be somebody else, you're not going to be original. You're only going to be second best.
Right. And then that's going to lead to your dog not even remembering you when you die.
Oh, when you call the dog, it's going to say, who are you? You're not original. You're not my boss. I'm the leader. I'm not coming to you.
Right.
You know? So anyway, let's wrap this up. And it was nice chatting with you and breaking this down. And I'm sure I'm sure smart people are going to realize this. They're going to be able to pretty much digest it.
Yeah, they won't have to live in the shadows no more. People are actually starting to awake. So
exactly. All right.
It's always good having a good dialectic with Victor Richards. Everyone should get a chance to speak with them. Pretty intelligent human being.
Oh, thanks.
Intelligence is what we need.
That's a compliment. I'm always a student and constantly learning. God bless. Talk to you.
And in this era, you know, we need to start thinking more. So actually thinking is a revolutionary act in this era. So take care, Victor.
All right, bye.
All right, bye.